So, Captain, can you tell me how you know my creator and his sons?
I really don't want to answer that, Sia, but you deserve to know the truth. Danny Barker is dead. The man he became is me. Dad, well, after your project was cancelled after the whole Citadel incident, he went off. He basically lost what little sanity he had. He stole the hardware that you were running on, replaced it with a fake, got laid off from Slay Core. Well, just become a drunk because he couldn't do anything. No one wanted AI programmers. He was already unstable as it stood, but it didn't get better. After Dad died, just before I turned 18, my brother took everything, including everything I owned, and sold it. I lived on the streets for the better part of a year. When I turned 18, I managed to hitch a ride on a freighter to the Federation. Joined it, naturalized citizen, legal name change, went into the Navy, passed basic, went into the academy, graduated, not top of the class, but with honors, and was assigned to a ship. 6 months later, that ship was put on a top secret assignment, and I was pulled out of it and assigned to another. That ship was the Destiny. She was a Constitution-class cruiser, and I spent 10 years on her. Met my wife, made a lot of friends. Shortly after I became the chief engineer, we were sent on an anti-pirate patrol. Done hundreds like it, or so we thought. We were ambushed. One of the ships was severely damaged and rammed us just after the bridge. Someone was still aboard it though, and they used the bulk of their ship to shove ours down into the atmosphere of a planet. I went from fourth in command to the captain in an instant. My first, and literally only action as captain of that ship was to call to abandon it. The turrets went down. I lost all my friends that day. My wife. I stayed aboard to try to get the turrets working again to cover the escape pods. I had just succeeded when the engines exploded. They knocked me unconscious. From the best I can tell, we shot down another of the 4 Argentivists that attacked us. But half the ship was gone at that point, and I blacked out from the explosion. My suit was damaged, but not critically. Well, Pyrrhic victory for them. They lost 2 ships for 1 Federation cruiser. When I came to, the ship was already sinking into the atmosphere, it was lying in pieces. I made my way over to where the escape pods were, or tried to. My jets cut out, and then I was able to cut them back on. One of the J escape pods was too heavily damaged, but one was actually intact. I couldn't get to it, not easily. I literally had to force myself around a sharp edge, damn near ripping my suit. But I got in. It took me a second to boot the systems and get them active. None of the timers worked. So I detached, let it drift away, and then finally managed to get the engines booted. The pod was flung away back towards the atmosphere. Well, out of the atmosphere. Not that it would have actually made it. We were too far down. So I took the control of the manual, the remote, and aimed it back down towards the planet, watching my ship fall. The Destiny was gone. She came down in a gorge in a mountain range. I landed my pod pretty much right next to it and started salvaging what I could. Had to avoid pirate patrols, but, you know, I got some supplies, got set up, started mining, built myself a ship, got back into space. The, pirate bastards had captured 2 of the crew that had escaped and were torturing them. Ensign Mackenzie and Lieutenant Terada, my wife. They killed them both when I boarded that ship, but rather than stoop to their level and torture them back, no, I just killed them straight out. Left the ship as their funeral pyre for my crewmates and my wife. Anyway, when I got back to civilization, I was court-martialed and dishonorably discharged because as a sole Federation officer, I didn't take prisoners. Well, I kicked around on a freighter after that for a year or so as loadmaster and engineer. And when my contract was up, I went to the Rim. Tried to buy a survey ship, but they were too expensive. I'd only had 100,000 credits on me, and the survey ships were a lot more, but it was my lucky day. There was this old 50-year-old wreck that they'd pulled in from the belt. They hadn't even finished hosing the prior owner out of it. It shot all to hell. But one of the prior owners had refitted to LF9 thrusters. Granted, most of them had taken damage, but, you know, they were efficient modern thrusters. They aren't the old LF1s that this model of ship was known to have. Well, it's only 500 credits, so I bought it and blew the other 90,000 on supplies. The ship powered up pretty fine, overloaded when I tried to move her. Didn't have anything resembling an, cargo hold, but it had a functional old refinery, functional old assembly matrix. Missing a few things, but what can you say? I fixed it up, added a modern solar panel to augment the reactor, since it was an old one. Repaired the thrusters, added an ore detector. Ship was a piece of shit. Just overloaded all the time. The reactor I limped it to an asteroid about 50 clicks off the station, clamped it down and set up shop. The asteroid hadn't been claimed. The thing was dying on me as I clamped it down. I was running the reactor so close to meltdown, it was not funny. Anyway, I tore it apart for parts and set up a small base. Stayed there for about 6 months. Built a couple of ships. Anyway, how I joined the Garian mercenaries was simple. A couple of their guys were out and hunting a pirate that had been evading me for about 6 months. Or, well, not 6 months, but, 3 or 4 months at least. He'd been harassing me since day one, though. And I heard their distress call, because he was in an escort they couldn't handle. They wanted a pair of gunships. I just built myself an attack corvette. So I jumped in, short range jump with a jump engine, Got there, wiped them out. They offered to let me join. And that's pretty much it. I've got a lot of stories I could tell about being in the Mercs, but not today. Not today.
Is it time to start building the inhibitors?
Yes, yeah, it's time to start building the inhibitors. If you could take the Wraith out and on patrol, do an overwatch. Make sure that, we don't have anyone coming while I'm building this thing.
I'll run the combat patrol for you.
Thank you, Zia. Alright, let's get close. And I'll start getting what I need.
When I return, may I work on a redesign of the Wraith?
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Need some radio communications equipment. Well, yeah. Then steel plates to start. Start queuing up a bunch of stuff. Oh, where's it? There it is. Generator. Just need to focus the gravitons through the subspace beacons. Want to make a battery and some solar panels. There's the solar panels. Alright. Let's get started.
Heading to waypoint 1.
Alright, so basic platform. Need gravity generator, subspace beacons, computer, and I think Williams sensor-based warhead system as well. Self-destruct. Need some batteries and also solar panels. So lots of stuff. Yeah, that looks about right. Drop it here and run a platform out, a single line of blocks for the solars. Alright. Basics will be 5x5, gravity generator in the center. Pretty much identical to theirs, a little more compact, so it means I need to be more aggressive with the tuning. Come on. Alright. Gravity generator in the center. Grind off that mistake. And place the subspace beacons. Alright, let's start welding things up. Yeah. Peter.
Waypoint 3 reached. Proceeding to waypoint 4.
Completely done. Alright, I'm gonna head off in the direction of the planet again. Find another asteroid about 600 clicks out. Zia, if you could continue to follow in the Wraith. And dock up midpoint, I'll come to a stop, but we've been here long enough, we need to get out of here.
Confirmed. Returning to the ship.
Okay. Zia's a little bit behind. So while she's catching up, I'm going to be building a couple of probes off towards other planets. And there's the second of them. She docked not long ago, so yeah, we should be ready. I think she's recovering in the cryo chamber. Not that she needs to use the cryo chamber, but... Okay. This looks just about perfect. I'm gonna put an inhibitor here. Alright. Alright. Pull it on. And head out. Close the doors, that way when she steps out she doesn't decompress. Not that I think she'll really bother the body. Okay. Where do we put it? Where do we put it? Right here, it looks good. Okie dokie. Again, gravity generator, beacons. Here we go. Alright, an antenna, a battery. I'll get the rest of the components later on. I guess warheads, we'll need warheads. Yeah, rest of the components after that. Okay. And platform here. Okay. Just offloaded some minerals that I mined. Inhibitor's been built. Let's get this thing locked down. Slightly different spot. I don't want it to interfere with the thrusters. Gonna head out, find another asteroid, survey a few of them to find one that's hard to get into, and drop off the civilian ships, because I think it's time to take the fight to them. Or at least distract them. I want to get to the planet, or get back to the planet. See about retrieving the other avatar, if it's even intact.
I agree, but why do you care about me?
Yes, Zia, I do care about you. That part of Danny Barker hasn't died. After all, you are my sister.
I would like to know her status and possibly upgrade the chassis if she did survive.
As would I, Zia. Whoa. Let's drop off the remaining stuff. Burned through quite a few supplies. Alright, charge up my tanks and set off. Let's roll out. Alright, here's where we're dropping them off, Zia. This is perfect. Alright, well, you start getting the scout prepped for storage. I'm just going to drop off the shuttle once we've got it. And I'll build a platform inside to lock it down on. Looks like it's just big enough for your scout and my shuttle. Well, since the mining ship's going to be dropped off here, I'm going to claim this asteroid. I think I've told anyone else. Well, I haven't told anyone else. No one else to tell except you, but I think this is going to be do my last mission with the Imperial Mercenaries. I think I'll, well, not retire, but take a full-time contract here. Settle this system. Or settle in this system. Kind of miss asteroid mining. I mean, yeah, there's the excitement of combat, but it's not really the best. Not for a man like me. Let's get the shuttle locked in. She should have the scout post right there. Took off the new thrusters and shield generators. Don't need them now. This thing's just gonna sit here until, you know, we're done.
You can land first.
Thank you, Zia, but I really don't need that much space. You can continue to land. Just need just enough space to lock the landing gear down on. I built it big enough for both ships. Back up a bit. I'm locked down.
I know, but the gynoid body's ocular sensors do not have good depth perception. I may need some assistance.
Alright, and just back a little bit. Keep going down. Back. And... yeah, you look like you're good, yeah. Just sit her down. Excellent. Let's get out there and take this fight to them. Shall we?
Yes, we should take the fight to them. However, we still need to prepare.
Alright, so the plans as I see it right now, we're going to finish up your current body. We're going to build a small ship that will go down into the atmosphere. You'll be not necessarily remote controlling it. I'll be uploading or copying some of your programming to it so that way it can act autonomously. Consider it to be another of your daughters. And then build a few attack drones, more probes, and I think even a method to use this ship to assault their big ship once we refind their big ship. We've done everything we can to lose them. It's not going to last. They've got the system covered. But let's go for it, shall we?
Yes, let's go.
Step one, we're going to head back toward the planet. We need to get to a point where I can stage and build necessary probes and other equipment.